Hello everyone, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. We're glad to have you back. I'm glad to feel your spirit and glad to sense your presence. I was a little late getting the video out this week. I had some things going on, but I'm here now and we're about to get into some more metaphysical lessons to help your life. You see, metaphysics, principles and laws of the universe, that's where your true help comes from. Co-creating with God, being in a relationship with the God within, living a pure and honest, righteous life, living a life with a heart full of love. That's what it's about. Well, somebody said, love, I'd rather have respect than to have love. But I'd rather have love than respect. I'd rather love. You see, you can love and be loved and still have respect. Love is the greatest power in the universe. There are some people that will tell you different. There are some people that say, I'd rather have respect than to have love. But if you have love, you have respect from the universe. You have favor from the universe. Because remember what I told you? God is love. And when you love, you are co-creating with God. I know that it gets hard to love, and it's even harder to be loved. But don't you have a craving, a hunger to love and be loved? At the risk of sounding, I don't know, weak or somebody that sounds like I'm just, overemphasizing love and not talking about anything else. Well, it all begins with love. As I said many times before, love doesn't mean you're weak. Love in the heart is your power. I say love in the heart is your power in this matrix, in this reality, in this reality. Love is your power. You see, I wasn't going to go here, but I decided to go ahead. Have you noticed? We're going to talk for a minute. Have you noticed this reality? Or you can look at it as simulation. Now, this is just my opinion. As every other video on YouTube is mostly everybody you see on there talking is really expressing their opinion, which is a good thing. You can extract all the good things that help you. But in my opinion, this reality seems like a simulation. And it seems to be powered by negative emotion. It seems to be constantly, as you go out of your house, it seems to be constantly trying to extract negative emotion out of you. It seems to be constantly trying to pull negative emotion out of you. And it seems to be powered by negative emotion. And love in the heart is the shift. It shifts your reality. Love in the heart shifts your reality. Now, love in the heart doesn't take anything from your personality. Like I said, you ain't got to walk around all giddy and smiley and lovey-dovey all the time. Love is a vibration and a frequency within your heart. Meaning you ain't trying to hurt nobody. You ain't trying to bring nobody down. You don't hold no grudges. Love in the heart. You treat everybody right. You try to be honest. You try to be noble. You try to have good integrity. I say try, but you are love. So you are integrity. You are joy. You are peace. Don't say I'm trying to have these things. I'm trying to be these things. Say I am these things. And when you say you are these things, you co-create with God. Say I am happy. I am love. I am joy. I am peace. I am prosperity. I am abundant. I am surrounded by loved ones. I am surrounded by people I love. And I am surrounded by people that love me. Love is the greatest frequency. And you got people that are teaching against this. They're saying that I'd rather have respect than to have love. That's some businessman trying to teach you how to get money. But it's more than money. You see, materialism is good to a certain extent because it ties you to this reality. And for that reason, it's not all the way good. Only your spirituality ties you to your true source, which is God. If you're so overly concerned about materialistic things, I said overly concerned. There's a certain amount of concern, but overly concerned about materialism, and your spirit man is starving. Your spirit man is not growing because you all out here trying to get, and you are neglecting your spirit. You're neglecting your co-creation with source, with God. And that's not natural. Your spirit, your love in the heart, you're co-creating with God, your relationship with the universe and all things that are good should be first and foremost. That should be first and foremost. And I hadn't even got into the lesson yet. Well, we're going to talk about the secrets of spiritual success. We're going to talk about the secrets of spiritual success. You see, material success is good. I mean, you got the nice house, you got the nice car, you got the You know, you got the lavish lifestyle. Most people want that, don't they? Most people want that more than they want to be spiritually mature. They want that more than they want to grow spiritually. But the true riches are in the spirit realm. The true riches are with God. The true riches is love in the heart, and it doesn't cost you a dime. All you have to do is ask. All you have to do is meditate. All you have to do is speak in your spiritual tongue. That's so the outside forces can't hear you and make out what you're saying. Like, oh wow, is he getting religious on me? No, I'm not getting religious. You see, there are forces that are watching you and listening to you, trying to dictate your every move. And because of this, you have to watch your moves. This reality seems like a big chess match. This reality seems like a big chess match. And it's trying to extract negative emotion out of you. And you have to recognize that negative emotion that it's trying to extract out of you at every moment. Because it is powered by negative emotion. And spiritual beings, light beings, are here to defragment the current system. And so, because of this, it doesn't want to die. And so, because of this, it becomes a big chess match. If you noticed, when you go out, there are things constantly trying to extract negative emotion out of you. Anger, frustration, jealousy, envy, greed, gluttonous, lust. It's constantly trying to extract negative emotions out of you. You see, you have to learn to open your eyes to synchronicity. Once you start noticing the synchronicities all around you, you will start to notice the matrix. You will start to notice the simulated reality. So I say, open your eyes to the synchronicities. Ask yourself at every moment, what is the system, what emotion is the system trying to extract out of me? Is it trying to extract jealousy, anger, low self-esteem? In any given moment, what is this reality trying to extract out of me? Inadequacy? If you notice, and you notice the synchronicity, the simulation is constantly trying to extract some kind of negative emotion out of you. Constantly. And the chess match is you trying to stay in love. You trying to stay in the middle of that circle. You trying to stay centered and balanced, and it's trying to knock you off your axis. Trying to knock you out of balance. Have you noticed? Well, then open your eyes and notice all the synchronicities that are going on. And then the matrix will become so clear to you. Notice the synchronicities all around you. Be in a meditative state. Like my father used to tell me, Keep your eyes open and your mouth shut. And notice the synchronicities all around you. So I'm going to give you a few secrets of spiritual success. See, there's all kind of videos telling you how to succeed in the material. But how do you succeed as a spiritual being? What about your success as a spiritual being? How do you succeed in that? Well, I'm going to give you a few nuggets here today. Number one, as you move through this matrix, as you move through this reality, a key component that you must carry with you is conduct. Knowing how to conduct yourself in every situation. You see, you got some people out there that are walking the streets, they're poor, they don't have anything. And I bet you the reason they are in the situation they're in is for one reason and one reason only. They could not conduct themselves right. They didn't know how to conduct themselves. As a spirit being, one of the players on the chessboard is your conduct. One of the pieces on the chessboard that you must use is your conduct. You must learn how to conduct yourself in every situation. Conduct yourself right. I don't mean giving in to the status quo, but knowing how to conduct yourself. Because they are waiting for you to conduct yourself the wrong way. And they'll give them a reason to bring you down. And so they're constantly trying to get you to conduct yourself in a bad way. So you must be conscious and aware of conduct. Is knowing how to conduct yourself and rein in your emotions and conduct yourself the right way. Keep a clear head. Keep a clear mind. And stay centered and balanced and conduct yourself. You must know how to conduct yourself in this reality. It's what keeps you out of trouble. It is what keeps you able to co-create. So many people are in bad situations simply because they could not conduct themselves the right way. So number one is conduct. Always be conscious of your conduct. For your sake and your family's sake, conduct yourself properly. And you won't give them a reason, another reason. They have plenty of reasons, but to give them another reason to bring you down. Number two, prayer and meditation. You cannot spiritually succeed if you don't speak and meditate. See, speaking to source, God, universe, and I suggest you do it in a heavenly tongue. In other words, you let your vibrations rise and because you know English has a lot of spell type words in it. So if you speak in a tongue, in a vibratory tongue, which is what Jesus was really talking about, because you can't speak curses over your life by accident. So talk to source, talk to God, talk to the universe, or some may call it prayer. But you basically speaking your heart and pray unceasingly. You must pray always, constantly throughout the day, speaking to source, speaking to God, speaking to the universe and co-creator. See, there is a duality in this. Praying is you giving out and releasing out. Meditating, you are receiving in. See the duality there? It's speaking. When you pray, you speak to God, the source, the universe. When you meditate, you listen. And the universe and God, the God within, will speak back to you. This is why to be spiritually successful, you must pray and meditate or speak to the universe and then listen to what it has to say back to you. Remember I said conduct yourself, number 1, pray and meditate, number 2. Number 3, remember this: less is more. I said less is more. Meaning, don't be overly materialistic. Learn to live within your means. You have so many people are overly concerned about materialism. And I'm not saying materialistic things are altogether bad. But if you want to grow spiritually, you don't need to be worried about some bills and how you going to pay this and how you going to pay that and sitting around wondering about money. Spiritual people, if you notice, live simple lives. They have what they need, maybe a little more. They're not trying to have the big fancy car and a big fancy home, and they live within their means. They have pleasant lives. They're not poor and they're not downtrodden, but at the same time, they're not trying to be this big shot, rich person walking around with all of this stuff. You see, the more materialistic you are, the harder it is to be spiritual. And like I said, I have nothing against having things. Having things are nice, as long as they don't take you away from your spiritual things. Less is more. So don't be overly concerned about trying to get all this stuff, as you should be more concerned about trying to raise your consciousness and raise your vibration. In fact, if you seek the kingdom of heaven first, if you raise your consciousness and vibration, all the things that you need will be added to you. So be concerned about spiritual things. And don't be overly concerned about all of this materialistic stuff. You got some people, they get so far in over their heads. They're out there getting in all kinds of debt, trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to be all extravagant. Less is more, and it helps. But when you live within your means, it helps you be more spiritual, and it helps subside the ego. People get a lot of things because they got big egos. But if you subside the ego, you can be more spiritual and you can be closer to God and be nearer to God. That's number 3. Remember, conduct. Remember, you must have a good conduct. You must pray and meditate. And you must live within your means. This is how to be spiritually successful. I'm going to make a couple of more points. I'm not going to hold y'all long today. Number 4, have right standards. In other words, stay in the love frequency, the standard of the love frequency. Keep love in your heart. As I told you earlier, this matrix, this system is constantly trying to extract negative emotion out of you. It seems to be powered by negative emotion. And the more you try to resist giving it that negative emotion, have you noticed the more it tries to get it out of you, it's almost like it's trying to feed off of you. You're trying to hang on to your high vibrations. And it wants to eat. And it wants to eat your light and turn it into darkness. So thus, the chess match, the war, the battle, the spiritual warfare, whatever you want to call it, begins. So you must keep love in your heart. And when I say high standards, meaning you are a person of integrity. You are a person who treats other people right. You are a person who is fair and honest. Do these things. You are a very moral person. You seek to be moral. Now nobody is 100% moral all the time. I know that. But you are seeking to be a moral person with good and high standards. And if you are one of these type of people, you will succeed spiritually. Because if you live a degenerate life, if you live a life that is immoral, and if you are unkind and don't have any love in your heart, how can you be spiritual? Be a person with good standards. In other words, constantly thinking about doing the right thing. Doing what's right helps you be a strong spiritual person. Remember I said, I'm going to go back over these. Conduct. Have good conduct everywhere you go. That was number 1. Number 2, we must pray and meditate. Number 3, we must live within our means. Live simple life. Remember, less is more. The less you are concerned about materialistic things, the more spiritual you can become. And then have good and high standards. Live a life with morality, with good morality, and treating other people right, treating yourself right, eating right, thinking right, eating the right food, exercising, being an overall good person. And if you are this, it will help raise your frequency and your vibration. I know this reality is constantly trying to extract negative emotion out of you. And there is the fight. As it tries to extract negative emotion out of you, you try to fight to stay in a high vibration and a stay frequency. That's why I say keep love in your heart. And so, you see, life basically has 2 emotions. That is pleasure and pain. And sometimes that is the duality of reality. One of the dualities of reality is pleasure and pain. We are so overly concerned about pleasure. We seek pleasure. We don't want to go through any pain. And so To be spiritually successful, you got to be willing to hurt. What I mean by that is, if you're going to be a spiritual person, you're probably not going to have many friends. If you're going to be a spiritual person, you're probably not going to be with the in crowd. You're probably not going to be accepted by everyone. You may even find yourself a loner. You're not going to have many friends. And that can be painful. You can be lonely and unaccepted. You can be made to feel inadequate. While everyone else is exchanging their positive energies with one another, you're over there by yourself. Because you're spiritual, you're not accepted by the mainstream. And so because of this, if you're going to be spiritual, you must know this. And you got to be willing to hurt in that area. The loneliness, the being excluded from everyone else. But the reward and the payoff is so much better. Because as you are excluded from everyone else, you get closer to God. As everyone else casts you off, God receives you in. So it may hurt to feel rejected, to be made to feel inadequate. It may hurt. And you can't be afraid of that hurt. That hurt of being alone. That hurt of not having anyone to talk to. But you know when it's like that, that's when God receives you. So be willing to hurt as a spiritual person. Because the hurt is a good hurt. It hurts because you're growing spiritually. The rejection is only an indication of your closeness and your co-creation with God. So I guess I'll make about one more point. There are so many things that I can say, but I try not to make these videos too long, and today is a work day, so you know how that is. But I might make one or two more points. And so the other one is co-creating with God. See, that is another way to spiritual state. As you become more closer to God, as you are rejected by the world and become closer to God, you will notice that you have this power within you. This spiritual power, this power to co-create. This is one of the biggest secrets that they don't want you to know, is that you have power to co-create with God. Say, I am one with the Father. I am one with God. See, God has already created everything you need. All you need to do is step in and co-create with Him. So if you're going to be spiritual, learn to co-create by using affirmation, by prayer and meditation. You have a unbelievable amount of power, and that is your ability to co-create with God. The more spiritual you are, the stronger your ability is to co-create with God. Look up at the stars. You say, I don't look at my physical bank account. I look up at the sky. I look at my heavenly bank account, my universe bank account. And I look up at the sky, I see the abundance of not only the stars in the sky, but the grass on the ground. Look at the abundance of grass. What if that grass, every strand, every blade of grass was $1? That's what you have access to. Just like you have access to grass, you have access to abundance like that. All you got to do is learn to co-create with the Father. So step into your power and co-create with God. All you have to do is step into your power. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to jump through all this. Just co-create and just speaking to the Father and meditating and like I said, do all of these other things and grow spiritually. And your co-creation powers will go through the roof. And you will be so abundant. You will be so happy. Speak affirmations. Find some good mantras. And stay in a high frequency. Stay in a high vibration. Stay in the frequency and vibration of love. See, you are the richest man. You are richer. You have more riches than Bill Gates. You have more riches than Donald Trump. You have more riches than Mark Zuckerberg. You are richer than he is. Because their wealth is tied to this reality. Their wealth is tied to this materialistic reality. Your wealth is heavenly. And it is as abundant as the grass on the ground. It is as abundant as the sand by the seashore. It is as abundant as the stars in the sky. And learn to co-create with God. And see how abundant you won't lack for nothing once you learn how to co-create. And then knowing that you can ask the universe for anything. And all your needs will be met. You are a co-creator. And you must know this. So that's my video for today. That was a few nuggets of how to be spiritually successful. I do a quick overview. Excuse me. Remember, walk through this matrix, walk through this reality with the right conduct, so you won't give them a reason to get you in trouble. Remember to pray and meditate. It means talk and listen to the universe. Talk to the universe. When you pray and you speak to the universe, when you speak to God, when you speak to the source, that's you talking. That's the duality. Talking and listening. When you pray, you're doing the talking. When you meditate, you're hearing back from the universe. Also, live within your means. Don't be overly materialistic. If you're going to be a spiritual person, you can't be overly materialistic. Also, keep high standards. Be a morally good person. Be a person that treats people right. Be a person that is honest and true. When you do this, God will help you. Because any type of manipulation that comes your way where somebody's trying to get over on you or do you wrong, if you're doing what's right, that's when God will step in and turn that situation around in your favor. Some of y'all can testify to this, right? You can't be afraid to hurt and be alone and be the outcast, be the lone wolf, be the one that's not received into the crowd, received into the sheepfold, because you're not one of the sheep. You don't have that mentality that has to be accepted. You don't need everyone's AVA. You don't need everyone's attention, validation, and approval. You don't need attention, validation, and approval. Your attention, your validation, and approval comes from the Spirit, when your co-creation and your relationship with God. But you may be lonely sometime, and you may have to hurt from that loneliness. But it's okay. God will send new friends into your life. God will send the right friends. And He Himself will be your friend. And remember, first and most and foremost is co-create with God. Become a co-creator to help shift this world back to the vibration, the frequency of love, which is its rightful place. this reality. See, there's been, like they said in the Matrix, there's been something pulled over your eyes, and you can see it all around you. And the only way to pull back the veil is to stay in the frequency of love and co-create with God, co-create with the universe, co-create with Source. All right? That's my video for today. I enjoy speaking with you today. And I learned something. As I speak, I learn. Because the spirit realm, my spirit guides, God, the universe, speaks through me. And as I'm speaking, I am in awe as the spirit speaks through me. And I learn so much. So I'll see y'all next time. I'll try not to go too long without making another video. But we're going to talk about some more universal laws and metaphysics, which is the true religion. None of these shenanigans that they putting out in these churches. I don't mean to talk bad about church, but some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, God bless. Y'all be blessed. And I'll see y'all next time.